Okay, is that happening? Is that something happening? I haven't done this in a long time. This is my, every 2 years I do a live stream. Looks like there's a timer going. I don't see any people yet, so I'm just gonna keep rambling for a moment and see if anything happens. Don't see any chat stuff coming in yet. Okay, first comment. Hi, poorly drawn fox. All right, it looks like it is starting to come in then. Invisible Ven, how you doing? Okay, I guess the stream. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. Now the comments are coming in. See lots of familiar names. Hello, everybody. My rare every few years live stream has begun. As I imagine a bunch of you were, I got very hyped up by the new Avengers Doomsday trailer, which, if you haven't seen that, that's what I'm referencing here today, with Doctor Doom. I mean, we didn't get that much of Doctor Doom in the trailer, which is good. Don't show him off too soon. But I already, because I do remember from live streaming that I very much get distracted with the chat while I'm doing live streams. So I went ahead and I did the core, the most thinking intensive parts of the drawing before starting the live stream, because the inking and coloring process require a little bit less thought than the actual design process. And admittedly, I fully acknowledge right now, this kind of just looks like Doctor Doom holding Stormbreaker, but once we get into the colors, the cape's gonna be red. I'm gonna go with predominantly Thor colors because we've got very Doctor Doom aesthetic to the design so far, but also this design was largely done just for an excuse to do a live stream inspired by the very hype trailer that we got today. Okay. Every 2 years, yeah. Hi everybody, Nerd Comics Inc. is here too. Got lots of cool people coming in. And alright. Yeah, let's, I often, on the rare occasions that I do live streams, I also get very distracted and just don't start doing the drawing for a while. And, oh, one last thing I want to check. The software I'm using says that it has like a built-in chat window thing, so I can actually bring the chat window over here and have it on this screen so I don't have to keep looking at that screen. Huh, alright, that... Oh, no, and it's gone. Okay, but what if I do this? Where did it go? There it go. If I, stretch it out like that... Why does it keep disappearing, though? Oh, you know what? Idea number 2. Let's try this. Let's bring the actual YouTube window in here. And just have that on the side. Oh, thank you very much, BMX Messi. Thank you for the donation. I forgot that was a thing. Well, I didn't forget, but I have not been processing all the stuff that happens in live streams again. Okay, there we go. Now I don't need my glasses to see that screen because the chat is over here, and I will start drawing. Yeah, so again, this is what we got so far. Very Doctor Doom looking, but it will be much less Doctor Doom once we get the... Well, not less Doctor Doom, it's just we'll work more Thor in there once the colors start coming in. But I'm going to do the inking, and I've been doing my inking with much thinner brushes lately, and I find it makes the piece look more precise. Or maybe that I just get more precise as I'm doing the inks. When they're much smaller, I have to think a little bit more. Okay, it's a little bit jittery while I'm live streaming, but not too bad. I'm not doing any intensive levels of layers and stuff here, so shouldn't get too complicated and shouldn't get too glitchy. Yeah, hey PopCross, lots of highs. It's been 2 years. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's been about 2 years. Yes, I do respond to comments. I'm usually in the comment section for the first hour a video's out. And then in live streams, I don't have a norm because I do them so rarely that don't really have a routine for them. I will be like jumping back and forth between reading comments and drawing, but I want to make sure to actually do some drawing. I remember, I don't think it was the last one I did, but I did a Feraligatr as a kaiju live stream drawing that ended up taking, I think, like 6 hours or something. A drawing that probably could have taken me 3 hours if I wasn't live streaming it, just because I was doing so much chatting and back and forth. Which really, that's more the point of a live stream when I do it anyway. But we also want to make sure to get some drawing. Oh, look at that, $5. Thank you very much, Boosh Chris. Hello, PopCross. Just want to say your videos and artwork are fantastic, and I hope you post a concept scorpion. Concept scorpion. Oh, like the Spider-Man. I've posted the finished version of that on Instagram. I don't think and it's in the video. For reference, for people that didn't see it, I did a video 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago where I took Spider-Man concept art that was made for the movies but wasn't used in the movies ultimately, and I redrew a bunch of it in a more comic book-like art style and just showed off a bunch of the cool concept art and was really just fanboying over a lot of really cool concept art, most of which I'm glad wasn't actually used in the movie, because it was like cool alternate versions of Spider-Man characters and villains and stuff. Wouldn't be the versions that I would strictly want to see as the actual representation in the movies, unless they were showing up in something like Spider-Verse as, hey, this is an alternate reality version of Scorpion, Green Goblin, Electro, whoever else. Yeah, that was a fun video. I'm looking into more art books that I can base videos around. Although I've also peeked behind the curtain for a few video ideas that I'm very likely to do in the near future. I don't know if anyone's seen that movie. Well, I assume a fair amount of people have, but probably not everyone. In 2008, there was a superhero movie called Sky High that I absolutely loved as a kid. I assumed it was a massive hit, but I've looked into it since, and it did okay, but not great, so Disney never made a sequel to it. It was kind of a parody of superhero stuff, but not a full-blown parody. It was also an outright well-made superhero story in its own right, about a kid going to a superhero school kind of storyline, and he doesn't have powers yet, but his parents are high-end, super popular professional superheroes. I'm now it's been 20-ish years or so since that movie came out, so I rewatched it, and I think I'm gonna do an episode where I design what the high school age characters would look like now as professional adult superheroes. I'm thinking I might do some designs around another superhero movie that I loved as a kid called Push with Chris Evans. It was one of his superhero movies not attached to a major franchise that he did, I think after he was the Human Torch, but before he was Captain America. And I loved that movie. I haven't watched it in ages. I saw on Rotten Tomatoes it has like 23%, so maybe it's not as good as I remember, but maybe it's just the critics are way off base on that one. We'll see. And then also, because a bunch of people have been suggesting I do something with Deltarune lately, a video that I'm I don't want to say I'm definitely making it for Monday, but I'm fairly close to locking in on making it for Monday, where I take characters. I know almost nothing about Deltarune other than it was made by the guy who did Undertale, and I think it's a spin-off of Undertale, but don't even tell me, because the point of the video is to go in with as little knowledge as possible. I'm going to take the character sprites because it's a pixel art kind of game, and then I'm going to design what I think those characters are meant to look like from the pixel version in a style similar to this, like a more comic booky kind of style. And then after I've done what I think they're supposed to look like, I'll actually read the bios of the characters, see who they are, what their personalities are like, and if I misinterpreted elements of their designs based on their descriptions. I thought that could be a funny way to do a topic people have requested that I don't know, that I know very, very little about. Because I did an Undertale video, 4 years ago? It was Undertale characters as kaiju. Left it on a cliffhanger, never got a sequel. But besides that, and I don't even remember that much about Undertale lore, and don't even know for sure if Undertale and Deltarune lore are directly connected. I'm pretty sure they are, but again, I'm going into the video knowing as little as possible. This is a rare case where that's the ideal situation. Oh, look at that. Hey, Ryan Scarberry. Question, would Elder just to add emotional manipulation by revive people from would Elder just to add emotional manipulation by revive people from past? So would Elder revive people is the question, I think, to manipulate others? Maybe. I don't think that would be that would seem more like something that Psychoparadelict would do, for people that don't follow Multiverse Tales. I mean, I assume most people here, not necessarily. That's the main villains are the Archons in my ongoing fiction series, Multiverse Tales, Mytholethal Pantheon Reapers. Eldrorok, I haven't, I don't want to get too into reviving characters. Obviously, a few people have come back from death or from the brink of death. Benny, it may be a recurring joke. He might die again at some point. Like Benny, he's a character who could die again just to come back for a gag or for whatever other reason. But I don't want to do more of like when I had Jake basically die and come back from the brink, because I don't want to cheapen death too much. I'm not big on killing off characters. I'm not big on thinking you need to kill off characters for emotional impact. I think it can be a little bit cheap itself to kill people just to get an emotional response. But obviously the other way around is also not fantastic either, depending on how it's done. Killing a character then being like, just kidding, they're not actually dead. With Jake, I had something important that I wanted to do with that around Anna's character arc, and giving Jake a chance to get to see his family again, but also not kill him off long term, because there's more I want him to do. And Anna, honestly, mainly it was that Anna has been through enough. She's lost enough people that when I thought, what if I actually do just kill off Jake Tajin at the end of the Trismegistus Academy, I was like, it's not even that it's really heartbreaking for Jake, like, that Jake dies. It's more heartbreaking that Anna would have to go through that. Oh, look at that. Sent a gift membership. What's a gift? I don't know what that is, but thank you. A gift membership. Cool. Thank you. I'll have to look into what that is after the stream. But yeah, as will probably happen a few times today, I don't remember how I got onto the tangent I was talking about, but I have just noticed that my posture is not very good. Gotta be a good role model. One thing that I guess you guys can't really see it, but I keep my drawing tablet up like this. Not quite totally vertical, but because I knew very early on when I got a drawing tablet that a lot of artists will have their tablets down flat and they'll be really hunched over it and end up with neck problems and stuff like that. So I made sure to get used to having my drawing tablet up so that that wouldn't happen. I can still end up hunching over a little bit, but I try to correct my posture when I notice that I'm doing that. And I've had some slight pains with my elbow or shoulder at different periods, but usually Because obviously, if the tablet's up, I have to have my arms up a little bit more. But I have noticed that more so that comes from pressing way too hard when I'm drawing. So, like, doing that for a long enough period can just put a lot of strain on various parts of your arm, going all the way up to your shoulder. So, even lately, I've noticed that slight shoulder pain coming back, so I'm just trying to ease up on the amount of pressure that I'm putting on the pen as I'm drawing. And I can already tell I'm probably going to get to the flat color stage of this drawing today and then call it quits. Maybe I'll finish it in another live stream or in just in my spare time I'll finish this drawing. But don't plan on going for crazy long hours today, because this was a bit of a spur-of-the-moment spontaneous thing. And I have not had dinner yet. So I'm going to say 7 o'clock is the latest I'm going to be going on this live stream, and wherever we are with the drawing then. His eyes are different sizes, are they not? They are. Oh, well, I guess it depends how... Yeah, alright, that's worth fixing. Sometimes if it's a small detail and I'm working at a scale like this, small things like that when you zoom out, it's like, oh, that's not actually worth taking the time to fix. But this is, and also eyes are a particularly important part of a human character. Or, well, any character really that has their eyes visible, because that's a thing that we're often drawn to looking directly at. Scale this one down a little bit. Oh, look at that, Sagan! Sock Sparks! What are your thoughts about doing a banter episode with Ortis and some other characters? I do like that idea. That would be a lot of fun. We'll probably get more of that in Pantheon Reapers, banter between Ortis and other characters. But yeah, I like that. And also, seeing your icon as Sagan from Mytholethal Pantheon Reapers, I was recording a bunch of lines from him today because he takes center stage in the Pantheon Reapers episode coming up on Friday. I won't get too into the details of what happens in that episode, but it's basically in the last episode of Mytholethal Pantheon Reapers, Act 2, Part 3, we saw the team had been split up, and we saw what happened with Ortis, Kaijagrex, Astra, and Dresden. This next episode will be at that same time what was happening with the people they got separated from. Sagan, Narati, Benny, Vasilia, and Ares. And I think it's going to be a fun episode. Okay, that line's not quite right, but whatever. Okay, maybe I should be getting a little bit less precise with this drawing so I can get more of it done. It's also another thing where I'm so zoomed in right now, and at the end of the day, most people, this is a drawing they're going to end up looking at on their phone. So it's like, okay, let's not zoom in that much and do details that far in, because it's not really a priority at the scale most people are going to look at this at. Long time no live stream. Yes, indeed. Oh, look at that. Wait, 100 MX. That's a big number. I don't know what the Mexican dollars. Oh, yes. Greetings from Mexico. Okay. Hey, Pops. Thank you very much. Hey, Pops. Will you ever draw all Zodiac Archangels in both Angel to see them before they changed and Demon form? Probably not all of them. I will get to doing... what's it called? The one I missed. Virgo, I think. Virgo, I think, is the only one I haven't drawn. So I will get to... Is Virgo an angel or demon? I think Virgo's an angel. Is it? Yes, I think so. And I do intend to get to that one. And I had some story ideas around a plot line around a kid getting the Gem of the Angelic that I had considered as a potential sequel to Fear of the Demon Hunters at one point. I'm not going to do that now, but I may do like a 2 or 3 episode arc out of it at some point down the line and work Virgo in as like a helper kind of character in that to make up for the fact that Virgo is the one zodiac that didn't get drawn out of the... Oh, I guess there's 13 zodiac signs now, but I don't think canonically I added whatever the 13th one is into the Fear of the Demon Hunters storyline. Oh, I've lost my references. Let's bring these guys further down. Well, they're so small now that they're barely working as references anyway, but I'm pretty sure. So Doctor Doom in the new trailer, or in the few bits of art, official art that have been released, because it's so hard to tell what's official art and what's pretend leak AI art and whatever, but his emblems on his chest, one of them has a very Mjolnir looking hammer on it, and one of them has Captain Marvel's logo on it. So there's some speculation that these are people that Doom has killed in his reality or in other realities or something like that. I think there's other references hidden around on his suit that I forgetting what they are. I think there's a Wakanda one worked in there too. I'm not going to do that. That's a little bit too high detail for what I'm going for today, but it is an interesting and noteworthy little detail to keep in mind, that I'm sure there will be lots of lots of breakdown videos talking about, you missed this thing, and this thing definitely means this, until the movie comes out and we find out it actually meant that. Oh, by the way, I last week when I took a few days off, I went to see The Odyssey on Thursday, the very first screening that was available for it, and it was just one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Like, Christopher Nolan, I love a lot of his movies. He's a bit hit or miss for me sometime. I never finished Tenet. I couldn't get through that one. But I went in with high expectations and was absolutely blown away. Like, it's one of the best things I've seen. It has the pacing of an action popcorn blockbuster, but with the crafting you'd expect from Christopher Nolan, and everything in it felt so real. And there was also a lot more really creepy horror stuff than I would have expected from him. Like, not to full-blown horror movie levels, but there was I won't do any spoilers or anything, but there was one scene that was very body horror-like, that was kind of gross, but also I couldn't look away because I was like, oh my gosh, this just looks real, and it's awful, but I love it, but it's awful. It's, yeah, that movie, I had high expectations, and it exceeded them. Ooh, hello, thank you very much, Mr. Mubarak. Will you draw Brawl Stars as Absolute Universe? I don't have intention to do a video around that, but both of those probably aren't topics that I'll put together, but they are both topics I'd consider working with. Have I done, is Brawl Stars, I'm thinking of Brawlhalla. Do I know Brawl Stars? What is Brawl Stars again? Maybe I haven't worked with it. I've worked with Brawlhalla. Oh, this, okay, I've seen this but know nothing about it. It's possible, those do look like characters that would be fun to do in a more comic superhero stylized sort of fashion. Yeah, it's kind of nice, with the Art and Antic series, it opens up a little bit more range of topics I'd be willing to work with, because there are some topics that I'm like, well, I like the characters from this, but I don't know if I want to take the time to research all the lore for this thing. And since I'm not writing stories in the Art and Antic series, it's like, I don't really have to know the lore that well to make a video around something. I can just focus on the visuals of it. Like, even Genshin Impact, I still know so little about it, and I've done, I guess, just the one video around it, but it was also worked into Friday's episode, the art book roulette episode, which I really loved. Especially, I mean, the results of all the art in that episode, I was so happy with, but, oh, look at that. But especially the last drawing. Ooh, Tristan Vogan, thank you very much. Question about Multiverse Tales lore. What happened to the Akashic Corvex that Ludum stole? Is it going to be a bigger plot device down the road, down the line, or did Ms. Trismegistus never find it? It probably won't I'm trying to think of there is more plans for it that I have a vague outline of why it's an important device. Not like massive game breaking device, but still important. So it is something that I haven't forgotten about, but I haven't plotted out all the lore around it. So I don't want to get to here's what it is because I don't know for sure. Oh, look at that! Thank you very much, Crimson Raptor. Been wondering, but how hard was it to come up with the voices for some of your characters like Benny and Sagan? Oh yeah, this is a good opportunity to talk about. So Pantheon Reaper's voices were originally, Sagan and Narati were originally very different. Narati was going to be like a Valley Girl kind of voice, and that was the plan right up until the last minute. And it was probably only 2 or 3 weeks before that episode came out that I pivoted with her because I was like, what's it called? Pele already has a bit of a Valley Girl kind of vibe to her. And I was like, I think we're going to be doubling up a bit too much if I give both of them this vibe. So I didn't really need to change what was planned for Narati's personality. I tweaked a few things there when I changed her voice, but it really just, sometimes I'll plan things out very far in advance, but then it can still just change on a dime near the last minute. And Sagan was actually going to be, his whole vibe was originally going to be based around Jack Reacher, but he was going to be like a dwarf Jack Reacher, basically. And then I was like, that's a little bit too much like an already established character in at the Trismegistus Academy, Tiny Atomo, who basically the same thing, is even technically from the same universe that Sagan would be from, because Tiny Atomo's a descendant of Ares. And so I was like, okay, let's shift up a little bit. And then I was watching, this will happen a fair amount. I'll be watching a show and someone will do a voice in it, and I go, can I do that voice? And then I'll sit on the couch and try a few lines from it and be like, oh, look at that, I can pull off that voice. Okay, maybe I'll do a character around it. So I was watching this show on YouTube that's one of my favorite shows, called The Most Upsetting Guessing Game in the World, by a comedy group called Auntie Donna. They're an Australian comedy group that I listen to their stuff all the time while I'm working. It's very much not PG, so I'm not, fair warning if anyone goes to check them out. But one of the guys in the show had to do an Austin Butler impression during the show, and Austin Butler's biggest role he's most famous for is Elvis, so he was basically just doing Austin Butler's Elvis impression, and I was like, I wonder if I could do that, and I tried it out. I was like, hey, that's not actually bad. So that was what caused me to pivot Sagan's voice to, originally he was going to be a character who never really spoke. Like, you get 3 words out of him max. He was going to be a very silent character, and I'm very glad I changed that, because I really like the voice. I like his personality and how he's clashing with Kaiju Grex, and in the coming episode, how he pairs and banters a bit with Benny and Vasilia. I like it a lot better this way. We got off screen here. Hey, Alex. That is, yeah. This is such an amazing surprise. I only have one question. Who is your favorite character of yours to draw? Thanks for everything again. You are very welcome. And my favorite character of mine to draw... Oh, that's a good question. The upside of drawing someone like Benny Sharp is it's just obvious and built in that I'm going to do a new design for him every time because he's in new mech armor every time. But I don't know if that would make him my favorite of mine to draw. I might have to go with Mythal. I really like drawing Mythal because she's got a relatively simple design now that's fun to draw. I like her proportions. She's a cool action-heavy character, but then she can have slight tweaks to her design each time in terms of having a different white shadow God Queller ability active, so different gauntlets, different boots, so it changes it up a little bit, but still a fairly easy design to repeat drawing a few times. So off the top of my head, I think I'd have to go with Mythal. Oh, look at that. Okay, wait. Scroll back up. What? Okay, that was Alex's. You can figure out who. Thank you very much. Absolutely love these grand stories you've been making, but I'm curious if we'll get any more simple banter episodes again. We probably will. I'm kind of just going with the flow right now of what do I feel like making this week. That's why I've been not starting a new series. I've been leaving my schedule open to just what am I inspired to make this week? Because I found with, like, even with, why am I blank? Book of Bayou Nights. When I was getting into the last few chapters, I found I was getting kind of bored of making it because that one I might have planned out too much in advance. So then when I got to the big reveal, I was a little bit like, it almost felt like it was over for me because I knew every single plot beat after that. So it got a little bit dry for me to work on, even though I'm very glad I did it, and I'm very happy with how the twist turned out in that series. But yeah, I'm finding that right now I'm in a period where having the freedom for spontaneity feels really good, where even this week I have the idea of what videos I'm definitely making Pantheon Reapers. That one's staying on schedule. But for Monday's video, like, I have some fun ideas that I'm excited about, but I also know if I get to Wednesday and some new idea hits me, I can go, ooh, I'm going to do that. And it's just having the freedom to not be tied into, I have to do the same repetitive things every week. Like, doing a full intensive fiction episode once a week was just becoming too much. And so yeah, long story short, I do still intend to do banter episodes again, but it's just when I'm genuinely really excited to make one. And right now I'm just more excited to do the art and antics kind of stuff. Ooh, look at that. Thank you very much, Real Brain. Hey, PopCross, I've been watching you for over 5 years, with one of my first videos being the Beast Chronicler. Oh, that's like third Multiverse Tales episode. And I recently have started counting calories, and your inspiring notes have helped. Oh, that's really awesome. That's one of those things that I avoided doing for so long, and then when I finally just locked in for 2 months or whatever it was, now I can, like, this weekend I went to Montreal for my buddy's engagement party, and I was eating whatever I wanted and knew I didn't have to keep track because my day-to-day eating habits now let me eat lots of food that I love by making it at home. Then when I'm going out for parties and stuff, I can just eat whatever I want and not care because I know my habits are built in a way where I can stay in shape easily eating lots of food I love, and it just took locking in for 2 months, so I'm very glad that's helping. By the way, for anyone who hasn't seen it, that's referencing my episode where I did a bunch of physical activities, got reference images of myself, and turned myself into superheroes using those. I really like that episode. Oh, and then we've got, thank you, a Dorku Talks. Thank you very much. Who would you say your top 10 fave multiverse top 10? Oh, I don't know if I can go with top 10 because there's so many. Let's do top 3. I mean, it's hard to not go with Benny Sharp because he's just like the funny character and he gets it, which none of you know what that means yet necessarily, though a lot of the fan theories have been pretty close about what that means. Honestly, I guess I was going to say Chip and Solakali from Starseed Psyche, because, it's already been confirmed that the crossover is happening, but I guess technically I wouldn't call Chip a Multiverse Tales character, but he's probably my favorite character I've written. What the heck, I'm going to count him as Multiverse Tales. He's going to be worked into. Chip from Multiverse Tales, Chip from Starseed Psyche, Benny Sharp, What are we gonna say for third? I really probably Dresden, I think, or maybe Arava, but Fear herself. But I think I'd have to go with Dresden. Dresden just had such a good arc, and he even nowadays is still interesting. Like he's still got some complexity and issues with who's gonna show up that might know what I did and might want revenge on me. And I really liked recently having Ordis's response to what he did versus Alsaya's response to what he did in the Trismegistus Academy. It was interesting to have those two different reactions of she was obviously very mad about what he did, whereas Ordis was kind of like, yeah, I kind of considered trying to take out the Overseers at some point too. So it was nice to give Dresden a little bit of validation. Because to be fair, I don't agree with what he did, but he also did probably save a lot of worlds. Paul Apollo, thank you very much. Love your work, Mr. Pop. 2 questions. 1, who are your headcanon voice actors for the Sharp Gang, and will you ever design a PopCross Pokemon region? I probably won't do a whole region, because you gotta do a lot of Pokemon for that. Like, it's a fun idea, but just knowing how many Pokemon I'd have to design to do a full region, I can't picture myself doing that. Oh, I started drawing on the wrong layer. And then what was the first one again? Oh, voice actors. So I recently watched... Idris Elba is the go-to voice in my head for Champagne McGregor. Like, Idris Elba doing a more Cockney-ish kind of accent. Even though Champagne, like, has a little bit of Australian to his voice. I forget which way it was. It was either I was trying to do an Australian accent and it kept sounding Cockney, or I was trying to do a Cockney accent and it kept sounding a little bit Australian. It was probably that way. But then the other day I saw... This would be more live-action casting, and she'd probably... Unless it happened immediately, she'd probably be a bit too old for it by the time Multiverse Tales live-action anything happened. But I watched... the new Anaconda movie, which I didn't love it, but there was an actress in it who I think was Ratcatcher in the Suicide Squad. She's a Portuguese actress and would be a great Biomet Kayla. If, again, she'd probably, like, her 5 years ago probably would have been a great Biomet Kayla. I think she's 30, in her early 30s now, around my age. So if I was doing a Biomet Kayla movie or something, or Multiverse Tales live action, probably want someone on the younger side. Probably someone closer to 20 years old, because I think Kayla was, like, implied to be around 21 at the time of her first story. Which I guess the actress I'm thinking of, whose name is slipping my mind. Oh, Daniela something. Yeah, as far as other voice actors go, honestly, I would have a hard time giving someone else Am I drawing on the wrong layer again? I would have a hard time giving someone else Benny Sharp. Like, I would kind of want to do it myself, even though there are probably people that could do it better than me. It's one of those voices where it started out with me trying to do a specific voice, but then it just kind of becomes its own thing eventually. Like, even Champagne's voice, there's not like a specific what accent is this supposed to be. At this point, he's existed for so long and had his mannerisms worked into how he talks that it's just like, this is just Champagne's voice. The specific accent isn't the thing that's important. And even Benny is kind of like that too. Like, his voice is kind of like, is this a Boston accent, Chicago, New York, what are we talking here, and New Jersey? And it's just like, it's just Benny Sharp. So yeah, I'd kind of want to do the Benny Sharp voice myself. Oh, thank you very much, Crimson Raptor. Not sure if you will do this idea, but a good banter video would be Kamen Riders as mech armors. Kind of miss hearing Benny's chaotic past. Yeah, Kamen Riders is one of those topics that I've meant to do for so long and just haven't really... Like, I started watching a Kamen Rider anime sort of recently, but I think it was kind of a parody of Kamen Rider stuff, while also being... It was... Oh, what was it? It was, It was called something like I Want to Be a Cayman Rider or something like that. But yeah, it's one of those topics that I've meant to get to for ages and just never took the time to... Like, I feel like it's a topic I would enjoy one of the shows, but I guess it's like something like Gundam, where there's so many different shows and mangas of it that I'm like, I don't know where to start with this. Yeah, that is... I have a feeling I'll probably get to a Cayman Rider episode at some point in the future. I don't know if I do mech armor specifically, because I feel like it's already too close to... At least Cayman Rider himself is already a bit close to being a mech armor. Like, it's... Maybe it is. Maybe some of them are. But yeah, still a topic I'm heavily considering working with. I have not even been... Doing the live stream drawings is so weird, because my body is moving... My hand is moving and doing the drawing, but I haven't even been paying attention to what my body's doing, really. Maybe that's okay, because... yeah, this is looking fine. But again, it really just looks like Doctor Doom holding Thor's weapon, so... Let's get that to the coloring stage so I can actually make this more Thor-like. Oh, look at that. Okay, one sec. Amustar86. Thank you very much. Hi, Mr. Pop. I have a question for Demon Hunters. Viv had the power of a bee demon. Was she gonna be afraid of a different demon that would give her powers? Was she gonna be, like, did I consider other things for her? I think pretty early on I had locked in on her being wasps, hornets, that kind of thing as her fear. Because partially just inspired by, I've been stung by, is it 2 or 3? Maybe just 2 hives of wasps and hornets in my life. And so I had some ideas to work from my personal experience. And I wouldn't say, I'm not like petrified of wasps and hornets, but the second something buzzes near my ear, I'm like immediately just kind of flail around a bit instinctively. Again, once I'm a little twitchy on that front. It's not even that I'm like if I saw a hornet outside my window right now, I wouldn't have any kind of reaction, but just getting close to me and hearing the buzzing. And outside of being attacked by 2 different hives at 2 different points, I've been stung multiple other times as well, just in like random places, like while I'm sitting at a table, both inside and outside. I've been stung on my feet, just like sitting at a table, just chatting with people. I guess shifted my foot onto a wasp once and onto a hornet another time. So that was where the inspiration came from for her being afraid of hornets and wasps and bees specifically. Oh, it's gonna be... we haven't heard from her as a character in a while. It's gonna be fun when she finally shows up in Pantheon Reapers. I had to go back to the Fear of the Demon Hunters post-credit scene recently to make sure. I was like, is this gonna line up? What did I have Dresden say? Because I knew I had Dresden being a little bit irked by Mythal in that scenario. But now we've kind of gotten to a point in Pantheon Reapers where Dresden's, kind of getting a little bit past his... I wouldn't even say frustrations with Mythal and Ordis, but, we established that he's kind of... like, he's a bit jealous of them, and he was also nervous about how they'd react when they found out what he'd done to the Overseers. Oh, okay, we got 2 more here. What's Isaac's demon form? I love him. I haven't actually decided yet. I have some ideas for it, and thank you very much, Adorku Talks. I have some ideas for it, but I haven't confirmed officially what it'll be. It'll probably be inspired by Poppy Playtime Demons, but not be one of them specifically. Just have similar vibes to those designs. I haven't decided for sure when he'll come back next. Probably the next time we go to the RAS Foundation, so possibly in Pantheon Reapers, though I don't know if he'll actually come on a mission or anything, because I don't think he would want to do that. We would need a really good story reason to force him to go, and I don't think there will be one. And then, okay, thank you to Zachary Colethorpe. Would you be willing to do Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beast as demons? Love your videos, by the way. Thank you very much. I did really, it's been ages since I watched Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts. I loved it when I saw it at the time. What was that? Jeez, that like 5 years ago now. I don't know if I'd do a full video around it now. Yeah, I definitely consider working with it again. I guess I've probably just done the one drawing of Kipo on the Suicide Squad in the second Suicide Squad, cartoons on the Suicide Squad episode. I think that's the only... That'd be a fun series to bring back in Art and Antics. I mean, obviously the stories for them are fun, but just doing an Art and Antics video of doing some Suicide Squad designs again could be fun. But yes, Kipo is something I would definitely be... Maybe I'll rewatch that sometime soon, or at least put it on in the background, because I did really enjoy it. Okay, just making sure that's moving. Okay, I was surprised that I would have assumed Stormbreaker was gonna get redesigned a little bit, or get a proper handle that isn't made out of Groot, but I went into the trailer to confirm, and it's kind of hard to tell, but I think Stormbreaker is still made out of Groot. I think, well, I saw concept art at some point recently that showed what a consideration of what Stormbreaker might have looked like in Infinity Wars. Yeah, he gets it in Infinity War, and it didn't have a Groot handle. It was just a metal handle, and I'm glad they did go with the Groot handle, because Groot wouldn't really have had much to do in that movie otherwise. At least it was a nice, interesting little plot beat for him. But yeah, I guess because I saw that, I was just like, wouldn't be surprised if at some point, I don't know where, like, they probably wouldn't even explain it if they did it, but if Thor had just gotten a different handle for this thing, this mighty weapon that is just partially made of an alien tree. But yeah, I'm very excited for Doomsday, although it's hard to be hyped for that with Spider-Man just around the corner. Me and my buddies bought our tickets for that already. We're seeing it the Thursday night. Got to pretty much the earliest screening we could. I remember a couple times when I said, yeah, I went to see it on Thursday night. I've had people say, you're lying, it comes out on Friday. But like, I assume this is a thing everywhere, but there's pretty much always screening. When a movie comes out on Friday, there's pretty much always screenings on the Thursday night. Or even for The Odyssey last week, I saw it at like 3 in the afternoon on the Thursday. So I don't know if that's a thing everywhere. I can't imagine it's just Canada that we get that. But yeah, make sure to check if a big movie's coming out. There might be screenings on Thursday you could go to. Oh, look at that. Oh, well, thank you very much, PDoka1. Even though the message was retracted, it seems. So we'll never know. I mean, some of you might have seen it before it was retracted. I'm not sure. Can I unretract it? No, maybe not. Either way, thank you very much. But yeah, I'm very excited for Spider-Man. I'm probably equally excited for Spider-Man and Doomsday. And but I guess just Spider-Man's closer, so it's easier to be hyped for that knowing it's right around the corner. My posture's slipping a little. Also, this is working out nicely. I've got my mic I'm using the mic that I got to plug into my phone to record videos when I'm running around my apartment. And it turns out it can plug into my laptop too, or my desktop too. Also, I just noticed my computer is not getting like slow or glitchy really while I'm live streaming and drawing, so that is nice. Not that I expected that, but I feel like that has happened before, though that might be when I've got way more layers going, and I am drawing on the wrong layer again. Silly garbanzo bean. Okay, I am going to lock this layer so I cannot draw on it anymore. There we go. I will only be drawing on the proper layer now. Oh, I want to get some color on this guy so he does not just look like Dr. Doom. Oh, look at this. We got... Oh, P. Doka's thing was not retracted anymore. Thank you very much. And are you considering working with the Odyssey soon? I'm not sure. I mean, I did, as much as I absolutely loved it. It's just... I already do so much mythology stuff in Mytholethal Pantheon Reapers, and I've done a bunch of Greek mythology stuff specifically, so now I'm trying to work with more other mythologies. So probably not, to be honest. The next episode's going to have some Celtic mythology designs in it. Yeah, so I probably won't end up doing an Odyssey episode, but that's not because... I mean, like I said, I absolutely love the movie. It's just I've done so much Greek mythology stuff already. Although I did have some ideas for, like, a sci-fi equivalent of the Odyssey, which I'm sure someone else has done, but that, if anything, I would probably do something like that. Or I guess even a episode in Pantheon Reapers with a plot very similar to the Odyssey, almost, like, even if Benny was heavily involved in it, almost like parodying the Odyssey. But I don't know, it's not, that one's, like I said, because I've done lots of Greek mythology stuff, it's not super high up my list of things to work with, but I was floored by how much I enjoyed that movie. Oh, Sock Sparks is back. Thank you very much. I have a writing question. I've been struggling to find inspiration to write my stories. How do you find inspiration or motivation? I wouldn't say I have one specific source of inspiration. A lot of my stories in the last few years have come from some kind of emotional or personal growth experience that I've been through that I think about, and then usually naturally some kind of idea will come to me for how I could put that into a multiverse tales kind of setting, or how that would fit into a superhero sort of story. But then other times I will just actually actively think about it. Like, it won't just come automatically. I'll go, how would I put this into a... Well, for me, having a roster of characters in Multiverse Tales, I just go, if I were to do something around this lesson, which character of mine do I think could use to learn it the most? So that's something that really helps fuel me. But then also just pop culture stuff very often helps me. Like, horror movies were a huge inspiration on Fear of the Demon Hunters. Even like really schlocky mythology movies were inspiration on Mytholethal Pantheon Reapers. Like even the Percy Jackson movies that nobody likes. I still kind of like those Percy Jackson movies even after having listened to the books now. Like they're not very good, but I still enjoy them as just like schlocky mythology inspired fun. And like Clash of the Titans, also not one that I'm like, that's a spectacular movie, but it's just a fun movie with, I just like, yeah, I don't know, with a good jumping off point can always be take something like mythology and just say, what if someone handed this to you and said, put some of yourself into it? Not even necessarily your personality directly, but just things you like and enjoy. What would you put into this story or change about this story? You can even ask that question about any movie you watch, whether a movie you hate or a movie you love. What would you do differently with this story that feels very you? What do you really enjoy in storytelling that you'd like to see more of that you don't necessarily see a lot? So for me, that's like the positive, inspiring life lessons, things that I've been through, that finding creative ways to work those into a story that feels natural is really fun for me. And it helps that I've seen how it can help other people as well, so it makes it more exciting to try and work that in a way that's fun for people that don't care about learning a lesson from the stories, because obviously there's probably more people that just want a fun story, but then also finding a way to work in the lessons in a way where people who do want to be inspired by the characters' experiences that are based on my experiences, how they can get more out of the story, and have the message fit well within the narrative, so it doesn't feel like I've talked about this in my design notes, art and advice book, but Vigilance was the first one where I was really trying to do that, and it got a little bit too ham-fisted in Vigilance, like I was shoving the lessons down people's throats a little bit too much, and then I felt I really corrected that with Starseed Psyche, where it felt much more natural that the character had a very good reason to be going through a personal development journey, both because he wanted to be a happier, less angry person, and there was the romantic angle of he needed to, he had a year basically, 333 days to become a better person before he was destined to meet the love of his life, who was going to just walk right on by him if he wasn't a better person by then. Yeah, I forget how I got onto that tangent, but hopefully I kind of answered your question. Let's use a circle tool. This circle can be kind of rough, actually. It's armor. Also zoomed out, it probably won't be noticeable either way. Well, maybe it will. It's a big knee pad. It's not exactly the shape of his, but whatever. This is a fusion. Is this frozen or is it? Okay, good. Still going. That tea is room temperature now. But I like room temperature tea and coffee. I'm someone who can drink coffee at any temperature and enjoy it. I mean, that's tea, not coffee, but you get it. What even time are we at? 6. Oh, it's only been like an hour. Okay, cool. Maybe I'll get a little bit. I probably won't do all the rendering, but maybe we will get into a bit more of the rendering than I expected. Or maybe I'll just do a simple single layer of cell shading. And then I guess I can always flesh it out more later. But I also have that I mentioned in the first Fusion Dares episode that I started doing and I think I showed it, I started doing a rough drawing of Bane mixed with forearms from Ben 10. And I'm still considering doing a live stream where I finish that drawing. So who knows, maybe we won't wait 2 years for the next live stream. Because I did like how that drawing was going, so it would be kind of nice to actually finish that one. Oh, what's this? P. Doka again, thank you very much. How hyped are you for Batman 2? That's taking a million years. Also, Spider-Man Brand New Day comes out on my birthday. Oh, happy almost birthday. Less than 2 weeks from now. But yeah, because it's been taking so long and is so far away, like, I really enjoyed the first one, but it's not one I've gone back to watch a second time. Like, it's not one that... I really enjoyed it. It's just not one that blew my mind, blew me away. It was similar enough into... I think for me, at this point, I would really like to see a good comic book-y Batman movie. Like, we've had some very comic book-y Batman movies, but they're kind of the less great Batman movies, like Batman Forever and stuff like that. And as much as I love Robert Pattinson as Batman, I love the storytelling in that movie, but I'm kind of like, I don't need another realistic Batman movie. I'd really like which we're probably getting in the new DCEU. I think James Gunn has now been confirmed to be directing the next one, which I'm like mixed opinions on that. But at least that means it will very likely be a very comic booky Batman movie that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, it's the same kind of thing with Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse or Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. It's been so long since the last one came out that I'm kind of like, well, I'm sure I'll be more hyped for it once trailers start coming out, but it's hard for me to care about it right now because it's been so long since the last one came out. So yeah, I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure once a trailer comes out, unless it's terrible looking somehow, I'll probably start getting really hyped for it then. But yeah, for now, there's so many other cool things on the horizon that I don't really need to be focusing on my hype for those movies that are still unconfirmed when they're... Because I think maybe it wasn't true, but I saw a thing this morning that said the Batman movie was delayed again until 2028, even though they just put out that teaser saying it was 2027, I think. Or maybe I have those dates wrong, I don't know. But either way, I am eager to see what they do with it. And I do think the cast is pretty cool. I think I saw that... Whoa! What the heck? Azul Studios? Wow, thank you very much. That's probably the most anyone's ever given or tied with. Wow, thank you. Might as well... One sec. There's another one coming in after that. Okay. Might as well give you some extra support beyond my Patreon contributions while also asking a pair of questions I've been wondering about. Well, thank you very much. And what happens if an overseer tries to take on the runes of 2 universes? I'm guessing energy overload. Second question, not in super chat. Oh, where is... So wait, is it coming up? Okay, well, I'll answer the first one for now. I don't see the second one yet. But what happens if an overseer tries to take on runes of 2 universes? That's one of those things I've debated. On a blanket rules level, it's not doable, but it's the kind of thing that I could see someone finding a workaround for. Maybe even like an Archon finding a workaround for. I'm not saying that's something I have planned, but it's something that I'm like, I could probably... Oh, I missed... Chris, you missed Leo Watch. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I'll get to that in a sec. Thank you, Nucleo... Okay, I won't say that name because I'm probably too white to say that name, but thank you. Okay, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, it's one of those things that I have some vague ideas for how someone could end up getting the Overseer runes for 2 different universes, but I haven't found a good enough story to actually take the time to work that out. So it's gonna say tentatively possible, but if it happens, it's a very, very rare thing. And now, thank you, Leo Watch. Where is the Leo Watch one? How do I... Leo Watch, where... Oh! Oh, and thank you, Transbian Onigiri, for joining Above and Beyond here. Oh gosh, okay, so where... No, Leo Watch, where are you? Sock Sparks... Thank you, Scattershard, for welcome to Above and Beyond. Oh my gosh, how far back? Oh, okay, wait, this is Leo Watch. Oh, okay, yes. Okay, what is this? Thank you, Leo Watch. Sorry that I missed that, and thank you to everyone who flagged me to that. Do you have any plans for Skinner's Scythe? I would love to see more of them and learn more about Skinner's past and his POV. It's... Skinner, I don't have a huge... fleshed out backstory planned. It's something I probably will do. He's going to have more moments in Pantheon Reapers, but once we get to the series after Pantheon Reapers, the end of a multiverse arc, that's when he'll actually get some dedicated episodes where we learn more about him, his current mental state, and their mental state, those characters, Skinner and Scythe. Yeah, I have some general ideas, but because he's not super important to Pantheon Reapers, I haven't gotten too deep into diving into that. Probably once I get halfway through Act 3 of Pantheon Reapers, then I'll start mapping out a little bit more basically in the end of a multiverse arc, everyone is going to get their moment. Like I won't get too far into what I have planned for that, but everyone's going to have dedicated time, and Skinner will definitely be one of those characters. So thank you to, well, you, Leo Watch, and to everyone who flagged me to that. Now, let's see, did I miss anyone since that? Oh, right, Azul Studios had a second question. Is it... Oh, is that... No, that's... Oh, here it is, okay. If a hive mind existed and it had a soul, would it have a soul energy in a main body, or one in every body, or none? The energy is just... Ooh, wow. That's a good question. A hive mind. That's one of those ones where I'm like, it would depend... Ultimately, it would depend on the story I wanted to tell with it and why I was working in a hive mind and giving them that kind of story time. But hypothetically, I'm not going to say this is explicitly canon. I almost like the idea that if it's a hive mind that can... So there's probably one originating body, but then whatever body the main consciousness of the hive mind is focusing through, the soul would kind of jump to that body. That's probably how I would go about doing that. Yeah. Oh, and then we got Junk Jester. Thank you very much. Hey, Pop, what are your thoughts on the concept of self-shipping? Alexis, my beloved, she has genuinely smitten me beyond all reason. I mean, that's... growing up, even, not like in adult years at various points, there's always a character in a story that I've had crushes on, either growing up. Like, I had a huge crush on Raven from Teen Titans when I was a kid. Yeah, I love it. I always hope that there are people who have crushes on my characters the way that I had crushes on characters when I was a kid. And yeah, Alexis is a character that I'm very glad a lot of people fell in love with in Pantheon Reapers, especially because she's someone who I knew she was getting kind of irritating to people, and that was not originally intentional, but then I leaned into it because I knew it would make her arc that much more impactful when we get to actually dig into her psyche a little bit and get to have her go through some personal growth and get sick of herself, as I've gotten sick of myself at points in my life, which prompted big personal growth. Which isn't exactly related to your question, but no, that's great. I'm glad you're that into Alexis. And she's not going to get as much focus in Act 2 as she did in Act 1, but she is still we are going to jump over to what she and Mythal are doing with the powerhouses in their battle that's currently happening. Someone out in the hallway. Okay. We all crush on Raven from Teen Titans, bro. Yeah. Yeah, Raven was like when I think of... my first crush on a TV show character was Sabrina from Pokemon. The grown-up Sabrina from Pokemon. Then the next one I can think of is Raven from Teen Titans. Oh, Scattershard, I believe. let me see. Yes, Scattershard. It's cutting off part of your name. But wondering if you'll go back. Thank you very much. And wondering if you'll go back to look at the Diamos era, asking since I enjoy writing and drawing from that era, and you drew Lucifer recently. Yes, so the reason I've hesitated to go back now is because even though it's on hold a little bit at the moment, as I'm shaking up some of my writing process, Alterverse Tales, the intention is to cover an alternate reality version of that time period. So it's going to be different from what's canonical to Multiverse Tales, but would also probably be similar enough that doing both of them would feel a little bit redundant. So we'll probably get more references to what happened back then without... I mean, we may get a full episode at some point flashing back to that time period, but because Alterverse Tales, my intention is to focus largely in that era, an alternate version of that era. I don't know if I'll do much full story episode set then. But yeah, we will have to get some reference back to it when we meet Astra's dad in Pantheon Reapers. Which is still going to be a fun reveal that I don't think I've seen anyone guess. I've seen some people, stopping myself from spoiling anything. Some people have a general idea of part of who Astra's dad is, but I haven't seen anyone explicitly guess. Yeah, I should just stop talking. I'm gonna leave that there. Did I just miss something? No, that was Scattershard's question. Did I miss someone again? What was that one? No, okay, I did reply to that one. Okay, cool. Jeez, I feel like I really slowed down on the inking here. All right, come on, let's lock in a little bit. Let's get this, we're so close. I should probably, next time I do a live stream, maybe I should... Ah, yes! This is why you lock layers. I almost drew on the wrong layer again. Haha. I am on the right layer now, right? Yeah, okay. Next time, maybe I should draw something that is explicitly a simpler art style, like draw Pokemon, something as a Pokemon for a live stream. But I guess that still takes creative focus when coming up with the design. So maybe I'd still have to do the rough outline first, then jump on the live stream even if it is something like a Pokemon. Or I'll end up waiting 2 years for the next live stream again, and you're all getting in on a big exclusive rare event here that I feel bad for anyone missing it, because I said there wouldn't be a video today. I had considered doing a live stream today actually last week, but I didn't want to officially announce it and lock in on doing it, because I was like, I'm taking time off, let's just take the time off. But then I saw that Doomsday trailer this morning, I was just like, oh, I want to do something Doctor Doom related. And I couldn't resist. I love Doctor Doom so much. He's such a cool... He was the villain that I hoped they were going to go with after Thanos. Then they started doing the, what's it called? Kang stuff, and I was like, I guess this could be cool. But I'll be honest, as much as, what's his name, Jonathan Majors was doing a good job, I never got super invested in that storyline. I mean, part of that is I wasn't really a fan of Quantumania, and that's where we started getting to know him the most. I mean, kind of that... Did that version of Kang die in that story? Maybe he did. I forget exactly what was happening with that. But to be honest, I can't pretend I'm that disappointed that we didn't really get the Kang Dynasty. I'm sure they would have done something cool with it, but I am a much bigger fan of Doctor Doom than I am of Kang. Though, to be fair, I guess I've only read one Kang storyline, and it was only kind of adjacent to him. It was the Young Avengers, where one of the Young Avengers, I think Iron Lad, is like either a descendant of Kang or a variant of Kang or something like that. Don't even totally remember that. It is a great storyline. It's just not one of the details I really remember. it'll be exciting to see if we get something cool and good with the Young Avengers. Because I think Cassie Lang... What's her superhero name again? Cassie Lang is... I was going to say prostate. That's not it. Posture... starts with a P. Keep thinking prostate. That's not it. What is... Cassie Lang superhero name? Stature. It's not even close to what I was thinking. What I said it definitely starts with a P. Not even. Nope. Didn't at all. Stature. Okay. Prostate. we see Stature. That's not a good name. I like that character, but that's not a good name. Oh, I guess it kind of works if because she focuses more on being big than little. All right, I guess it's not bad. But she's in the trailer. She has a little hug with Ant-Man at one point. So hopefully, I would be surprised if we get much out of the Young Avengers in Doomsday. I'm guessing they'll show up more in Secret Wars. Oh, hey, Sketch Ninja. Thank you very much. After Act 2 of Pantheon Reapers, will we see community redraws that focus on characters like the Sci-Fi Secret Knights to build the multiverse's end? I don't have that planned currently, and we're going to go right on through to Act 3. For, like, Pantheon Reapers is just going to keep trucking along until it's over. I mean, there will probably be more Multiverse Tales episodes worked in as little side quests, but the main Multiverse Tales crew is mostly doing... I'll probably do a 3-story Bustar Terminax story again at some point, with Harold the Herald as well. A little, like, sibling reunion-related episode. Oh, actually, you know what? It could be... I mean, I probably shouldn't brainstorm this out loud, but I had also talked about doing an RAS breakout episode where some of the characters locked in the RAS Foundation who have started to redeem themselves, like Arava, have to try and keep the other prisoners, like she gets out as well and has to try and keep the other prisoners from breaking out. And could actually be kind of fun if Bustar Terminax is there that day as the breakout happens and helps out with that. Oh man, an Arava Bustar team up. I mean, they already know each other, and he definitely doesn't like her, but that's a kind of fun idea. If that happens, you all know you were all here for the origin of that idea. Hey, DeBoy444, we got a long angel number in here. Thank you very much. Wait, stop scrolling. Come back. PopCross, could you consider making a video with the creatures from Rain World? Yes, I had intended to do that SCPs episode, and then it kind of just got away from me. I saw a trailer around that time. I saw a trailer for a Rain World sequel, and I was like, oh, cool. When that comes out, I'll do a Rain World. I'll plan my Rain World episode around that. But then I just never heard anything about the sequel, so maybe that's just already out? Whatever happened to that? Oh. What? I thought... Oh, maybe it was like a DLC or something that I saw a trailer for. Huh. It is something I'm definitely open to. Yeah, because I didn't get far in it, because I'm mostly game to relax, and so that one was a little bit on the difficult side for me, as far as relaxing goes. But yeah, it is definitely a topic that I had intended to work with, and then it just kind of slipped my mind. So I'm not guaranteeing it, but it is certainly a possibility. I do like that game and know a bit about the lore, because I had started researching it a bit. You don't really get that much about the lore from just playing the game, but I've watched some videos around it and stuff, and this is pretty complicated lore, but it is also pretty interesting. Actually, that's one that could work as an Art and Antics video as well, taking the pixelated characters and making them not pixelated, like my idea for the Deltarune episode. Okay. We got it. I think I got all the inks done. Again, I'm not going to do the full rendering of him today, but we're definitely at least getting the colors in, and he is going to have a red cape. Let's get the Thor colors in there now. That's too bright, but good starting point. Alrighty. Yeah, that's still too bright. But I also, with my new drawing process that I'm still figuring out a bit, I have to try and remember to start with the flat colors a little bit brighter because I don't do as much of a wash of just glowy brightness over everything like I used to do, which I think things look better without that, but it also means I have to remember that I'm not brightening things up as much once I get into rendering. Let's see. I don't know if I'll actually do this, but it could kind of work to make Thor's beard sort of worked into the metal of this guy's face. Let's see, if I make his lower chin a darker metal, let's see if that looks silly or actually kind of works to get Thor's beard in on this drawing. Might just be silly, but... that might actually work. That's not too bad. Maybe some dark eyebrows too. Unlike the first Thor movie where Thor was dyeing his eyebrows. That's true if you watch. I mean, canonically, they probably wouldn't say he was doing that, but Chris Hemsworth has dyed blonde eyebrows in the first Thor and then never again. So technically, it seems like canonically Thor was dyeing his eyebrows for a bit. Sure, that's PopCross. Scroll down. Alright. Yes, scroll down. Okay. He's looking like Little Red Riding Hood right now. Huh, maybe the... No, I'll make the red cape work. We'll figure it out. Okay, now my computer is feeling the lag a little bit as I'm doing the colors, but that's okay. I just won't do as many big washes like that. A bit more brightness in there. And I'll add more shadow into there later. Yeah, actually the sort of beard worked in kind of works. What color eyes does Thor have again? Oh, he's got... Or he had one different colored eye for a bit, and now he just doesn't, I don't think. Whatever, I'm making his eyes blue. And we're gonna get the metal. Doing the semi-chainmail kind of look. Oh, that's not right. Oh yeah, and I think in the first splash art, concept art that they released, Thor had yellow lightning, and people are like, ooh, what does this mean? And I don't know if it means anything, or it means he called upon the power of the Allfather or something. I forget what the theories were kicking around, but maybe I'll give him yellow lightning. Oh, so maybe I should give him yellow eyes too. We'll see. That brighter, that darker. Sure, why not? Oh, I think I missed a line. I think I intended to have something like that there. Maybe I'll even make that red. Sometimes I add stuff that isn't explicitly from either character, but just kind of feels right. Because neither of them have a red band around their wrist, but just kind of feels right. Still feeling a little Red Riding Hood-esque, but maybe I will work a bit of green in. We'll see. I've also got one of the least colorful Thors here, I think. But Let's just throw some stuff in and see what happens. That doesn't feel right. Nor does that. I want more contrast in there. Maybe. I feel like... Okay, what happens if I do add a bit of green in here? Maybe. I'll do the non-green stuff first. I don't know. Some really dull-ish green could work. Is there any... Neither of these guys really have any gold on them, but I think I'm going to add some gold accents in here anyway. No, more orangey. Maybe that doesn't work. Does any version of Thor have gold accents there? I think he does. Yeah, what the heck? Let's put some gold accents in there. Not really liking the red hood, though. Maybe I can make the rest of the cape red and make the hood black? That might work. Nah, I don't know. Maybe I just need to make the hood darker. But we'll see. Let's keep trucking along with the stuff that I know what color I'm making it. A little bit more faded brown there, I think. Silver knee pads, right? Yeah. Nope. I don't know, this isn't feeling cohesive. But figure it out. Stick and move. Let's see. Are these colors gonna bleed? No, they're not. Nice, okay. Let's find that end can all be the same color. Add some scuffs and stuff. Maybe Mjolnir, or maybe, I don't know if Stormbreaker can get scuffed. I guess it probably can. Especially if it hits Doctor Doom. Although I guess this is partially Doctor Doom. Could hit himself, could mess up. A few little just random scrapes and bits and blurps. That's looking cool. I'm going to add some of those on other parts of his armor too. A little bit battle worn. The red cape still isn't working for me. Oh, unless maybe, what if I work more red? Maybe that'll... That also doesn't really feel that much more Thor. I'm just going to look up another reference image. Oh, I haven't saved in a long time. Whoops. I'm going to look up another reference image of Thor. See what other... Not Thor. What is this? Not shopping. Oh, blue accents there. Okay, this one has gold accents there. That kind of works. Not a huge fan of that design. Oh, this one's cool. I do like his Ragnarok look. He had some more red worked in there. I don't know. We'll see. It feels a little bit too Little Red Riding Hood is my problem with the... Again, maybe if I just darken it. Yeah, actually, maybe darkening it's gonna work. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, that might fix my problems with it. Even though I actively said I need to make my flat colors brighter, but this is different. I was making him look too playful and fun. This guy needs to be menacing and vile. Well, not vile. Well, kind of depends on the writer for Doctor Doom, I guess. And also, this is half Thor, so. Not quite. Okay, I made that very dark, but... Oh, look at that. Amistar again. Thank you very much. You should draw yourself as your characters. That would be fun. I do, I mean, some of my characters have a bit of me worked into them. Sterling's got a bit of me worked into him. I guess, yeah, Pop-Sonas kind of thing. They, Multiverse Tales characters with more me in them. Who would I want to do first? I don't know. This is a fun idea. Oh. Yeah, that's kind of a messed up detail. That's not supposed to start there. That's fine, easily fixed. Gotta add a bit more green in there if I'm going with the green. Ooh, look at that. Scatter Shard again. Thank you very much. Needed one donation dedicated to my girl Astra. She's my favorite character of all time. Thank you so much for making her, even though I've definitely analyzed every scene she is in a ludicrous amount. Well, I'm glad you like her so much, and I'm glad that she's going to get more of a character arc in Act 2/3. I have a bunch of character stuff planned out for her that I'm like, this... Originally, I was going to have more of it happening in Act 2, but it's looking like Act 2... Well, Act 2 probably won't have as much Tarsa in it as Act 3, and a lot of the stuff that needs to happen with Astra's storyline revolves around Tarsa. So probably I'll focus a bit more on Narati and Kaijagrex in Act 2, then Astra will get the majority of her character arc in Act 3. That's what I'm thinking. It's like I have a bunch of stuff planned out that I'm just like, what? That I can rearrange the timing of some of it. The main thing that needed to happen first was Alexis's storyline, and then the other stuff was a little bit more, this can happen as we go with the flow and find where it fits, sort of thing. But yeah, I'm glad you like... Oh no! Okay, that's not too much. I'm glad you like Astra so much. But, yes, I started dropping colors on the wrong layer again. How many did I do? That wasn't very much, that's fine. Oh, right, it was from when I deleted that thing. Oh, thank you very much, Silvermoon1111. Oh, another angel number. Would you consider doing a series of behind-the-scenes videos? As someone who wants to do something very similar to your channel, I think it'd be cool to see how you write, record, edit your Multiverse Tales videos. Yeah, so that actually might kind of fit into, I mean, I might just do an episode or two like that. That is certainly possible as a part of the Art and Antics series. Definitely seems like something that would fit in well with that. But also, I'm reassessing how I'm doing my books moving forward. I've recorded this to have it in the ad segment in Friday's Pantheon Reapers episode coming up, but with the Trismegistus Academy and Starseed Psyche, both of those are so long that the books, I would have to charge ludicrous amounts for the books, because when I'm making my books, I print them through Amazon and Blurb, and because there's no setting for this book is partially in color. because there's colored images in my books, but for the novels, most of the pages are just writing, but you have to say either this is in color or this is printing not in color, and when you say in color, the price per page is higher. So with a book twice the length of Fear of the Demon Hunters, because both Trismegistus Academy and Starseed Psyche are twice the length of Fear of the Demon Hunters, I would have to charge like $45 American per book, which is just ludicrous. It might be even more than that. And so I'm thinking maybe some behind the scenes videos and commentary stuff as bonus, like releasing an art book for the Trismegistus Academy with all the art, some bonus art, and then like a commentary behind the scenes video. So that might also be something that fits in with that. But like I said, also just an art and antics video about how I make my videos is certainly something that would be likely to happen in that series. I don't have it planned right now to definitely happen, but it is certainly a possibility. The thing is, I really want to make the cape green, but I literally can't. It will just be Doctor Doom if I do that. But the colors aren't feeling right. Maybe if I... The cape's gotta be red. So what can I change to make the red feel like it actually fits? Maybe, like, it feels like it needs some more red accents to justify them in other... maybe just those little accents help enough. Maybe I'll do a bit of basic rendering. I've got 20 minutes. I am cutting it off at 7 o'clock because I want to have dinner. Oh, Imagine Guy Draw Stuff. Thank you very much. I've been wondering what your thoughts are on other art mediums like pixel art, paintings, and such. Do you look at them often? Would you use them? For pixel art, I actually did pixel art for a game jam once. It was my first time doing pixel art, so it was not great. I don't know if I probably still have the files for that game somewhere. The last time I tried to open it, it didn't work very well. But yeah, pixel art wise, I've mostly only looked at... Actually, that's not true. I really like the pixel art for Marvel vs. Capcom fighting games from that era, especially Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I had my old set, I had a arcade cabinet of Marvel vs. Capcom in the background. And yeah, so I do really like pixel art. What was the other pixel art paintings? Yeah, I've done some... I mean, before I got a drawing tablet, I worked just traditionally, but I didn't get really into art until I got a drawing tablet and started working digitally. I mean, I didn't even get it for drawing specifically. I got it for editing and motion graphics animation and stuff like that. But yeah, I do still really like other mediums, just not as much doing them myself, though I feel like there's a good chance in art and antics I'll end up experimenting with other art mediums. I mean, I've already done an animation episode. I'll probably do another animation episode. And I do, for like depending on who is here, I mean, I know people jump in and out of the streams, but for Monday's video, I'm heavily considering taking pixel art characters that I know very little about and drawing what I think they're supposed to look like as fully fleshed out characters. But that could also be fun to do something reverse that, where I make pixel art versions of my characters or something in that kind of vein. Yeah, there are lots of other art mediums that I find very interesting, whether or not I'm interested in working with them myself. This, by the way, it's probably can't see it in the stream, but I'm adding like little bits of grain that I intended to put on a different layer, but whatever, I guess I put them on this layer that only when you really zoom in can you see that it's added a bit of grain that just makes the rendering feel a little bit more textured. Amistar again. When is the next redraw video coming up? I think it'll come out the Friday that Spider-Man comes out, which is not this coming Friday, but the following Friday. Yeah, so it's probably going to come out on July 31st. Yeah, I don't remember if the deadline probably hasn't... The deadline's probably Friday, unless I made it this past... Yeah, the deadline's probably Friday, and then I'll start working on it on a week from today. Okay, now let's... By the way, for anyone that's ever been curious what this thing is, I don't know if I've ever said it in a video, these are just my shadows, lights, my shadow and light colors. Still not sure how I feel about this cape color, but we're just going to go with it, because the clock is running down anyway. Oh, also, I'm going to have... I usually just go with a very bright yellow for the lighting, some kind of color, dark color for the shadows, and accent color. Since Thor's lightning is apparently yellow now, I'll do that. And let's add a bit of energy light in his hands now, with a bit of Kirby crackle in there. This is just kind of random scribblies to get a bit of an electric kind of look. And then what I do is I duplicate that, change it to a glow layer, make it all white, and then the layers under it I duplicate a few times, and I make a few different levels of what is this tool called? Smudge? Blur? Blur. So you can see it starts coming back a little bit, then I blur another one even more, starts coming back a little bit more, and another, and another, and then to, well, first of all, it's easier to see the detail a little bit if I put it on gray, but then also, to add a little bit more randomness, erase a little bit, oops, wrong tool, erase a little bit of the glow on top to dull some of the glow, just make it a little bit more varied, and then sometimes even add a bit more detail inside these. It's very subtle, you can barely see it, but you can kind of feel it, feel that it's there. Should probably add some on his axe hammer too, but not going to for the purposes of this stream. Whoops. Just make sure that's still moving. I didn't miss anyone, did I? No. Okay. So yeah, let's just do a little bit. I mean, I could whip down some basic rendering on the whole thing, maybe? Let's lock all those in. I'm just going to act like his hand is the main light source, because that's the general direction I would have the light source coming from anyway. But yeah, I've been looking back at even my art style from 4 months ago, and I like the changes I've made to it from doing the Art and Antics series so much. My old rendering style worked really well for metallic surfaces, but it did kind of make everything look metallic because I would put a bit of a wash of glow over everything. And now those same spots, I'll just leave blank or add a little lighting accent in a corner that's closest to the lighting source or something like that. And I think it looks much better. Oh, wow, that was way too much blur. I'll often soften the lighting in the eyes a little bit to add a little bit more variety, to make the eyes stand out a little bit more from the rendering on everything else. So I think I'm going to go with yellow eyes because the electricity is yellow. Or like golden eyes. Then I'll add a bit of brightness to them. Give them a little bit of glow. Okay, I can feel the computer chugging a little bit now. Add a fair amount of shadow in here. The more shadow you add around the eyes, the more the whites of the eyes will stand out and pop, because there's higher contrast there. What is this set to right now? Opacity. This is a brush I use a lot now. I downloaded it for, or not even downloaded it, I think it was built into Sketchbook Pro, which I'm drawing in, and I just tweaked the settings on it a bit, just so I have a softer brush, not softer brush, well, kind of softer brush. I don't know what I'm saying. Really just rambling a bit as I consider how much of this I'm actually going to do today. And again, I might finish it in a live stream or just finish it up on my own and throw it up as a community post and on Instagram and stuff. Also, anyone that wants to follow me there, I'm posting stuff on Facebook now, not because I use Facebook, but Facebook, I guess, is really trying to push that Facebook is a place for content now, because they reached out to me a million times and I kept ignoring it, then finally accepted it. They have this deal where if you have a certain number of subscribers on any other platform, so for me, YouTube, if you had between 100,000 followers and 1 million followers, then for 3 months, they'll pay you $1,000 US to post 15 reels or more. So essentially like the YouTube shorts that I put up now. And I was like, well, I'm already making them anyway, so it's basically just free money. And if my Facebook page doesn't grow at all at the end of the 3 months or have much growth, then whatever, I just stop posting on there. But they're, giving me $3,000 essentially for free for stuff I'm already making. So I was like, yeah, there's no downside. So if you're on Facebook and you want to follow me there, go ahead, but also don't feel obligated to, because again, they're paying me either way. But they're also promoting my work on Facebook, so that's a nice other benefit of it. Oh, look at that. Tristan Vogan. Thank you very much. I'm currently making a drawing of the defect from Slay the Spire as a biomech. That sounds cool. I've heard of Slay the Spire, but I don't know much about it. Any general drawing advice for drawing biomechs? Oh, well, actually, that's fitting that I'm working on a metal surface right now, because biomechs have a lot of metal on them. And I've never done this on a biomech because I just started working with metal like this, and that is doing these. Metal can be something that's hard to add detail to if it's a really flat surface, especially. So for something like the chest here, I'll probably change this. But like if you wanted to add detail to this face of the chest, just adding some kind of like light sweep thing like this. It's a bit more of a. It's a little bit more on the cartoony side of as far as metal details go, but I think it's really nice than just adding. If you wanted a bit more Marvel Rivals, like, you can add a bit of accent on the outside to amplify it a little bit more. Adding these kinds of little metallic, I don't even know what to call them, accents running through really flat surfaces that feel a little bit under-detailed is a really nice way to just add a bit of. The place I got that from, here, I'll grab it. is, well, a few different pieces of inspiration, but, oh, where is it? Oh. Right here. The Transformers art book, which in that last video I had wanted to get to a Transformer, but it was random and I never rolled a Transformer. I found on a lot of Transformers, they'll do, I guess it's hard to see because I'm really small in there, but they'll do these sort of accent sweeps across surfaces. If you look up, actually, yeah, that's just looking up Transformers comic art is really good reference material for something like a biomech, I'd say. Yeah, I really like using that as reference. Because, yeah, even like this mask, I haven't done much detail to it, but just because I've got this sweep thing here, it feels fairly detailed with even just something like that. Like, that's what I love about this new rendering style, is I'm realizing I don't need to render tons of stuff for stuff to feel rendered. And it also is a bit more comic booky and a little bit less 3D model looking, I guess, or 3D looking. And yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, oh man, I kind of, not that I'm not someone who believes in having regrets. And I'm very happy with how everything has gone in my career to this point. But part of me is like, man, I wish I had started experimenting more with other styles sooner, because I'm finding stuff that I hadn't thought of changing before that I like so much more now. Like, I guess my art style has just gotten closer to some of my favorite artists. And I did like that. I guess one potential downside is it looks a little bit less unique to just me, but the uniqueness of my style was that kind of shiny coating over everything that may have looked more unique to me, but it also made everything look like it was kind of the same texture a bit too much. Not the exact same texture, but just a little bit too much sameness. That now, I mean, I guess now a lot of the stuff has similar-ish rendering too. It's just a different, more comic-y rendering. So I don't know. Maybe I'll, probably get a bit bored of this rendering style in a year. But I mean, I'm also experimenting more often now. So the odds of me getting bored is less likely because I'm less likely to stay stuck on one specific type of rendering. I'll probably keep, like, I didn't expect the Genshin Impact art style to hit me as hard as it did. Like, I really liked that. And I didn't think I would get it as quickly as I did. Not that I 100% nailed it, but I was really happy with the results. I probably didn't need to add a shadow there. But yeah, like that, I could add more detail in plenty of places on this mask, but I think it looks pretty cool as it is. Hey, Alex is back. Thanks, Alex. Figured I'd send one more before you wrap up. I wanted to ask, who do you main in Rivals? I personally love Wolverine, but Jubilee is great. Oh, I haven't, right, makes sense you would be a fan of Jubilee. But I haven't tried Jubilee yet. My go-to is Punisher, because he's just easy, basic. He's basically just the Call of Duty character in Marvel Rivals. And I really like, well, first of all, the simplicity of him, but yeah, his turret thing, especially when I'm playing against a team that's a little bit worse than me, I can just plonk down my turret and just go to town. He's my main. Iron Man is probably my other go-to if Punisher's taken. But I find now that there's so many characters, Punisher's almost never taken when I'm playing. But yeah, I Wolverine and Magic are two characters I wanted to be good with, but I'm just so bad at the close range characters And again, I usually game to relax, so it's not something I want to like take the time to grind and learn how to be better with them. They're because they're two characters that I really love the aesthetic of, and just as characters. But yeah, I'll probably never take the time to get good enough with them. A Dork Who Talks, thank you very much. I love Multiverse Tales so much. It's my favorite show of all time. Wow, thank you. You're such a big inspiration for me. Dresden's my favorite character ever. He's my baby girl, lol. Oh, that's great. I'm glad you like it so much. And yeah, Dresden he's kind of the character that helped launch me into doing more original stuff. There was lots of different inspirations, obviously wanting to work positive lessons into more longer running stories and stuff like that, but Dresden was really the first character to get a lengthy arc, and that was really fun to write. And I really love how everything has gone with Dresden as a character. Okay, what am I doing now? Actually, those metal accent examples, probably just keep them in. What time is it? Oh, it's 7 now. Oh, okay, I'll go a little bit longer. Yeah, whatever. You know what? I'm going to start whipping in some details. Let's go. Come on, baby. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth doing a full other live stream to finish this. Maybe it is. I mean, I guess at least it would give me an excuse to move slower, the fact that most of it's done already. And I could respond to lots of questions and stuff still. We'll see. I won't want to do it tomorrow or something. Like, I'll want to relax tomorrow. Gotta make sure the next episode of Pantheon Reapers is coming together well. I mean, I've started it and it's going well so far, but, gotta make sure to lock in on that. Oh, look at that. Thank you very much. Imagine Guy Draws Stuff. I just wanted to say this was such a cool stream. It was cool seeing how you draw things in real time, even if I just got there at the end. Very cool. Thank you very much. Yeah, this was a nice change of pace. I've been thinking about doing a live stream again for a while now, and that Doomsday trailer coming out was just the perfect excuse. Yeah. This was nice. I can't guarantee another one's coming up soon, but I think there is a decent chance. But I've probably said that at the end of every live stream. It's just a matter of setting aside the time to do it when I'm not already, done drawing for... if I finish drawing for actual videos for a day, I'm not often now I want to do drawing on a live stream, where it's a bit harder to do the drawings because I'm also trying to be entertaining and talking the whole time, answering questions, and not that I enjoy doing it, but it's just a different animal to just recording myself drawing while listening to some goofy podcast or inspirational speeches or music, or just surprisingly I've been getting used to often just not having anything on in the background, just kind of focusing on the drawing, and just being very present, though most of the time I do have something else on. Yeah, I'm a Patreon member of the Anti-Donna podcast, and often I'll have their podcast going in the background, which is a very goofy nonsense podcast. It's improvised comedy from 3 Australian comedians who pretty much every podcast I listen to is Australian, because the first podcast I ever listened to was the Weekly Planet podcast, which is an Australian podcast, and then they went on other podcasts, so I went and listened to the episodes where they went on other podcasts. I listened to Do Go On and Book Cheat and a bunch of stuff that was in a podcast network that they ran, and then they don't run it anymore, but they still jump on each other's podcasts all the time. And yeah, that kind of ties back to why Champagne McGregor's voice, I was trying to go for Cockney, and a little bit of Australian got in there because I listen to Australian voices while I'm working so much that I just inherently, when I was changing to a British kind of accent, some Australian just got in there as well. But now I can't do an Australian accent properly, because anytime I try to, I try to go a little bit too over the top, and it ends up sounding more New Zealand, Kiwi kind of accent. And yeah, it's weird doing, because Champagne's voice is definitely more Cockney sounding than Australian. So now, because I have that voice pretty dialed in, it's hard to pivot to something that's slightly different from it. Okay, yeah, this is looking really cool. I'm very happy with that. I do love how rendering metal looks in this comic-y style, but I do think I'm going to finish it up there for now. Not sure when I'm going to... I'll keep you all posted. We'll see where I end up. I do like how this is turning out. I'm still not sure about the red cape. It still feels too Little Red Riding Hood. Just the hood part. Maybe... Okay, let me try tweaking something right now. I'm going to duplicate my base colors so that if I mess anything up, I can just delete this layer and stick with what I had. Let's see what happens if I try just working like a bit of green in here. Not having the hood one solid color might change things. Although I should change that lighting there if I do this. I don't think that worked. What a swing from the chandelier. That might actually... What if I do that black instead? Oh, maybe. I don't love it, but I like it a bit more. Oh, what's this? MUFX. I recognize you, but I've never said your name out loud. Hey, PopCross, as per the chat, if Grex ever turns good, you need to rename him Greg. Also, how's Alterverse Tales going? Alterverse Tales is going through... Like, I haven't put a ton of production into it lately, as I've kind of been shifting things up with what I'm thinking for book releases. I have the story for the first two books pretty much set, but I'm reconsidering how I tell the story. Like, I want to work more art into it, but also that will increase the time that it takes. It's an ongoing process. I can't say I've put a ton of... There's been a ton of production finished. It's definitely not going to end up coming out in November, as I had said. I made sure to never officially say it's coming out in November, but I had said potentially it could come out in November this year. I'm definitely not going to hit that marker, but yeah, we'll see. It is still coming. It's just a matter of figuring out how I want it, because I want it to feel like something fresh. I don't want to make explicitly a comic book out of it, but something that's a little bit more art involved than just a novel. Oh, what happened? Did it cut out? Oh, Okay, I think something's glitching out on me, so that probably means this is a good time to call it quits. Thank you. I hope I don't know at what point it cut off, but I hope you heard that answer. Ultraverse Tales is it's still going but moving slowly is the main answer. But yeah. Okay. Gonna call it quits here. Again, I'll keep you all updated on what's gonna happen with the rest of this drawing, but I do think that hood change made me like it a little bit more. Might need to add more detail on other parts of the cape, but yeah. Thank you very much for being here, everybody. Love you all, and I will see you all in the next video on Friday for the next chapter of Mytholethal Pantheon Reapers. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Bye for joined late. Bye. Everyone's just saying bye. Okay. We're good to go, and I am ending the stream now.